to sort of follow on Jim's point, when so many other world leaders and entities are saying we need a more immediate ceasefire, and the U.S. persists in this view that it must be sustainable, is it not then for people to infer that the U.S. views that crushing Hezbollah is more important than the short-term loss of civilian lives and civilian structures?
No, again, I think what you're posing is a false choice. If you could guarantee for us that Hezbollah somehow would stop rocketing, then maybe you'd have a point. But Hezbollah started this. You've got to keep in mind the aggressor in this case is not Israel, it's Hezbollah. Hezbollah crossed over into Israeli territory and kidnapped 2 soldiers. It has been rocketing Israel, but it has been ratcheting up in recent days. Nasrallah has made it pretty obvious that he considers a war against Israel. And as a consequence, I think a lot of people, look, we would like a ceasefire tomorrow. We would like a ceasefire immediately, but it has to be a ceasefire that is going to stand the test of time so the people in that region, and people in Lebanon in particular, a country that has been hard hit by occupying forces and by frustrations of its democratic aspirations, deserves a shot at having the freedom and democracy its people deserve. And the only way that's going to be possible is if there is no longer an internal threat of the sort that we've witnessed.
On Hezbollah.
Yeah.
Hezbollah's not going away. I mean, Israel's not going to bomb them out of existence. They have seats in Parliament. Do we have any kind of a back channel to them? Is there some way that we can perhaps speak with them?
Well, with whom would you speak?
I don't know with whom you
See,
speak.
again, that's one of the problems when you're dealing with a terrorist organization is you don't have a central office because they hide. Well, Nasrallah himself has been hiding and running. The fact is we have spoken publicly about what Hezbollah needs to do, and we've spoken publicly about what Syria needs to do, and we have also consulted our allies and said, look, everybody join in. Let's try to put as much pressure as we can on Syria and Iran so Hezbollah stops firing rockets, returns the soldiers, because as long as you have an independent terrorist organization operating against the sovereignty of the country, it's not part of the host country, it's a parasite. It is an organization that is directly weakening the government itself and weakening that government's ability to assert effective control throughout its land. So the point is, Hezbollah, it's not as if the word's not getting out. The members of Hezbollah know exactly what the United States and the international community, and I would hasten to add, the Arab neighbors have said the same thing. They may have critical remarks about Israel, but they have all criticized Hezbollah as well, and many have quietly and some less quietly passed messages on to Syria and Iran.
There is an independent British newspaper quoting a senior Iraqi official who claims that the experiment in the new government of Iraq has failed, and therefore we have to go to Plan Alpha to separate 3 different countries within Iraq. I would assume your comment would be more negative, but it is an official statement apparently by
an official statement by an unnamed person. That doesn't qualify as an official statement. That qualifies as an anonymous quote to which I will not react. Lester.
Yes, Tony, I have a 2-part question on the same issue. You and the President have seen the massive media coverage of a male midshipman at the Naval Academy who for months faced the possibility of life imprisonment because a female midshipman charged that he raped her, which charge the court-martial found to be untrue, even though Midshipman Lamar Owens is still facing the possibility that Academy Superintendent Admiral Rempt may disregard the court-martial's recommendation of no punishment. And my question, first one, does the Commander-in-Chief of the Navy, who himself was so maligned by Dan Rather, believe this male midshipman should be punished when court-martial testimony disclosed that the female mid, on the night she claimed rape, testified she had 7 drinks in... Could I finish? 7 drinks in 2 hours.
This is purely silly. The Commander-in-Chief delegates authority to his commanders, and he trusts them to do the right thing. And I'm not going to relitigate that case from here.
No, but just period. Could I ask my other one? Does he believe it wise or just to give immunity to female midshipmen who charges a male with rape, however false the court ruled the charge?
Boy, I am glad I asked for that one. Cheryl.
You want to evade that one, right?
I don't want to answer it. This is not a question to be posing to the President of the United States. It's not only undignified. He is the Commander-in-Chief, and I would refer everything back to the Naval Academy, in which the President has full faith. Now, perhaps you don't, Lester, so you can go over there and apply for the job.
Tony, not to